Okay.
Well, everybody, welcome to Cause Train. Catherine and I started Cause Train in 2020, and we're back, and we have some very exciting people for you to meet in upcoming interviews. I'm going to have Catherine Foster kick off today by telling you a little bit about herself, and then getting right into our first guest interview, Carrie Reichardt. If everyone could turn off your camera and mute yourself, so except for Carrie, just so it's not overly distracting. We appreciate that. And also, if you don't have any other engagements, if you could make sure and stay for the duration, as it's more supportive to our guests, I appreciate that. And lastly, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put those in the chat. We should have some time at the end to address those. So Catherine, I'm going to kick it off to you.
Well, hello, welcome everybody. My name is Catherine Foster, and I am a professional artist, an energy healer, and expressive arts coach, and an entrepreneur. And I'm just going to tell briefly about my cause. I could talk for hours on it because I'm so excited about it. anyway, but my real passion is the creative process and helping other people find that process for themselves, and with my help and other people's help too. And a lot of people don't think they're creative, but everybody is. And so my passion is helping people find that unique creative ability within themselves to share with the world. And my cause is the Creativity Healing Center. And I've thought about this for over 35 years and see it in my mind. And I'll go through that another time, another interview. But it's a place where people will come. There's going to be a large art studio, and it'll be a place where people can play with different kinds of art materials, different things to do. Expressive arts is all modalities of being creative. So there'll be drumming and singing and dancing and playing together and doing creative projects together. It'll be a community, basically, is what I've always desired, is to be a community with people in the creative process. And it's going to be a sacred place, where people will feel safe to dive in and find out what wants to be expressed, or whether it be painting, sculpture, dance, whatever, movement. And it's going to be a place of joy and laughter and play, lots of fun. So anyway, thank you for listening. So Carrie, if you could just talk about 5 minutes about introduce yourself first and just tell everybody what happened with you. You went from being an attorney into being a philanthropist. And so where's that passion within you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you so much. My name is Carrie Reichartz. And yes, I was a practicing lawyer for many, many years. I retired as an award-winning lawyer after a brief short-term mission trip to Kenya, actually. And just seeing how people lived there, and then how I lived here. And I didn't know what that meant or what I was supposed to do. It took quite a while to figure that out. Including writing a book and many other steps in the middle of all that. But through that, God led me to start Mercy's Light Family. And Mercy's Light Family is a maternity home for girls that have been through rape, sexual abuse, sex trafficking, some kind of offense in that way, and end up pregnant. And so they come in, we have a 3-year program of emotional and spiritual healing, vocational skills, and financial skills, business skills. So they leave us after our 3-year program with the business so they can support themselves and their babies. So that's my cause project. But at the same time, we also, since that's been a journey. And now we help other people start nonprofits as well. Going through that journey was not easy. Even as a lawyer, it was very, very difficult to figure out how to go about piecemealing all of that together. And so now we help other people through that process a lot faster.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that was quick. Okay. Carrie, can you tell us a little bit more about your programs and the courses that you have and how you work those for people?
Absolutely. I can definitely share about that. So Christian Rocketeers is the name of our program. And we have a course and we have a community, and we also have coaching. And so with that, we come together as a community, and we support each other. So as you're starting a nonprofit, Catherine, you shared your vision of a nonprofit, and that idea of we need community to make these things happen. They're not something we can do solo. We need people to come together to support it, be it financial, be it physical, like a lot of different ways, donating land, donating buildings or rental space or whatever that might be. And so we come together to support each other in that, figuring out, oh, hey, have you tried this? Or have you tried that? Or when you've had an awful day and nothing seems to be going right, and you don't know that you're going to get up tomorrow and still want to do this, being able to come together and vent. So that's the community part of what we do. Coaching, we come together twice a month. To help you through specific questions in the process of starting a nonprofit, the logistics, be it social media, be it legal, be it finances, be it, like any pieces in part that might fall into that, systems, and so much that comes into that. And of course, that's what our course addresses as well. And the cool part about that is just being able to be a part of what God is doing in the world, just to be a part of the goodness. We see so much in the news and so much everywhere about all the bad things that are happening, all the fear that has just inundated us with social media, with the news, with so many different areas. And it's like, we are a place where it's like, no, like we can change that. It only takes one person to change that. And other people will come around that. It takes one person that has the vision and is willing to take baby steps to walk that out. And we come alongside that baby stepper so they can get those things going faster and find those people to come together with them, the volunteers that they need, the donors they need, all of those pieces and parts to pull whatever the vision is, whatever the cause is, together.
That's huge, Carrie. That's really huge. It amazes me. You're quite an inspiration to me. Just thank you. So, hey, lastly, can you think maybe of a few tips that you can give to people that need funding and, and how they should go about it? I mean, are there, where do they find links? Where do they find the support that they need?
Absolutely. To find us, you can go to www.christianrocketeers.com. You can also find us on Christian Rocketeers Facebook. If you go to Facebook and type in Christian Rocketeers, we're the only ones there. So you can find us there. But as far as specific tips, like next steps, really it comes down to telling a good story. And then not getting sick of telling that same story over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because you're sick of it, because you hear it every day and you think it and you live it and you all those things. But other people don't. They only see you once in a while, especially if we're out on social media. How often do you think someone's really at your website unless you're out there really promoting it? Like, we've got to not get sick of repeating ourselves. And then also, we can throw in a different example, like life example, but the gist is that we have to be able to tell a really good story, and we need to slow down and feel the emotion of it. Because if you don't feel the emotion of what you're doing, no one else is going to either.
Oh, that's so true. That's really true. Yeah.
You should be crying when you're writing those stories. Like, you should care that much. Like, there should be tears flowing from your eyes of like, this has to get in the world because people are suffering while they wait for it. And that's true. In my case, girls and babies were dying, in my case in Kenya, and other people are suffering. I think, Catherine, with your example, people are suffering with mental illness. They're suffering with anxiety and depression and things that some people need medicine for that, but others just need an outlet to actually, just be creative and to do the things that God's calling them to do. And so, we've got to get passionate about it and tell really good stories.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great tips. Thank you. Can you think of anything else that maybe our listeners, would be interested in hearing more about? I know some of them, we have several people from Africa. I don't know if you have any special tips for them.
I would say the same thing. And I will also say mindset. Mindset is the key to all of this, be it, for-profit business, inventions, like whatever it is, like our mindset needs to stay where it needs to be. And I can tell you, watching the news is probably not going to give you the mindset that you need. to keep focused and doing whatever it is you're called to do in this world. And so or social media for me, right? Or Netflix even, right? Like being really mindful of what are we investing our time in, and making sure, and it's not bad to watch Netflix or the news or any of those things, but yet if that's all we're doing, and when we're not taking the time, to pour into our invention, we're not taking the time to pour into our nonprofit, we're not taking the time to pour into our business, like we've got to be really intentional. And it doesn't need to be hours and hours and hours, right? Even 10 minutes a day when done daily adds up really, 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 really fast. So just be very intentional and do that first. Not like, oh, I'll get to that once I wind down watching Netflix, or once I watch the news, for 4 hours and the same story rolling over and over and over again. And then our minds are so, in the area of fear or just drama or whatever, right? Like do these things first when you have a clear mind. And that doesn't necessarily mean first thing in the morning, which would be ideal if that's possible. But maybe you're working a 9 to 5, but then come home and right away, grab some dinner and then, focus on that, and then go, scroll social media or Netflix or whatever else it might be, but make that the best time that you can possibly spend, and make it consistent.
That's very important in any kind of business. I think being consistent is important, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Those are wonderful tips, Carrie. Thank you so much. Really pleased to have you here. So
absolutely.
So Michele, I'm going to turn it over to you. There she is.
Okay, there we go. Carrie, yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for being our guest. I definitely got some nuggets. Hey, I'm a Netflixer. I can do it, I definitely feel like I put in the work, but sometimes I think maybe we don't do enough for what we really believe in, right? And then we get old and we're like, I wish I could have, right? So I know you'll be back talking with us again and helping others in the future as well. So I appreciate it. And we're going to talk with Kayla here in a moment, but I'll just introduce myself here for a second. I want to thank you, all of you again, for being here. My name is Michele Barnhouse. When Kath and I first started this project, my cause was different. And that's because I hadn't completed it yet. And now I have. So that's exciting. I wanted to create a much needed pet app for pet owners to use in case of an emergency, which could save their pets. Again, I've been interviewed on it, but we're going to redo the interview probably later just to put on the website. So if you haven't seen it, it'll be out there. But there are a few events which, spawned the idea itself, and it really started to kind of snowball once I needed the app myself. Okay, so it's actually called 911 Pet Buddy. And I'll be sure to include the website and, attach to the video later. So after following my dream, it was finally developed and now it's available on both app stores. So cool. Now what I'm doing is I'm supporting my husband for his invention, and his invention is for an engine design that you will hear more about in a future interview as well. Not only would this engine design help the environment, it will cut costs for freight and shipping, which of course then is passed on to us anyway. And it will also be a game changer to the average consumer like you and me. So be on the lookout for that interview coming soon. The main financial vehicle that allowed me to complete my pet app is 7K Metals. We live in a time when even basic necessities have skyrocketed, right? So that leaves us in an insecure situation about our financial future. If you're also concerned about that, rising debt, inflation is like constantly on the news. We want to ensure that you are safeguarding your wealth and also protecting future generations of your family, right? So I encourage you to acquire the most tangible and timeless of assets, and that's gold and silver. In fact, I read something today that like pawn shops and stuff like that, they don't even have any gold in there. It's becoming hard to find now. So you may think that you can't afford to get it. You may actually wonder what the heck to do with it, right? Well, we definitely can guide you on those concerns. And, here you have the ability to buy as little or as much as you'd like. You have your own debit card to do with how you like as well. And you can even earn a part-time or full-time income if you so choose. Again, we'll put all the websites and resources in the chat as well as our Facebook page, but that's actually the vehicle that let me actually get the pet app made, and I'm really proud of having done so. Kayla, if you want to go ahead and unclick and unclick, I'm really glad we have you here today. And, you know, I know this is your long awaited project as well, like Catherine's. And, you know, first I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your qualifications, if you could.
Okay, well, thank you for having me here. I'm very happy to be here. So my name is Kayla Wentworth, and I live in beautiful state of Washington State. And we live in a 2-acre sacred forest. It's beautiful, and it has huge cedars, and it's just magical. We have deer and bear coming through it, and birds everywhere, and we have a huge organic garden. And so this is where I reside, and with my husband, and we're very happy here. And from that, what we call it Sacred Cedars, because it is Sacred Cedars. And I have been trained in many areas with like hypnotherapy and massage in the past, and in Reiki, which I am focusing on the Reiki energy right now. And that's, I guess you wanted just a short version of what I do. So that's basically it. Oh, well, yes, that's it. I'll talk more about things I do.
We'll jump the gun here. That's all right. So tell us a little bit now, if you could, about your cause, your retreat.
Okay, well, ever since I was small, I've been wanting to teach, to be of service. And I used to play teacher, and, you know, I was always the teacher. And so it's always about helping people, about being of service to the world, to humanity. And so at this stage in my life, I'm now, I have my hypnotherapy practice, and I see clients daily, but I'm also being guided to teach Reiki energy. I taught it in California when I first there, and I was teaching it all the time. Many people, when we came to Washington State, I decided not to do it, so I focused on hypnosis, and that's what I've been focusing on. But ever since I was small, I just been learning about different things, the metaphysical, and I've been very interested in. I've been in attuned to the shamanic energies in Peru, and learned about herbs and medicine, the medicine plants, medicine energy, and what we can do with it for healing. And it's just incredible. As an herbalist, I can make my own tinctures and things like that. And this is what I want to teach people, because it's going back to the land, being able to forage our own food and grow our own food. But that's part of it. And so now I'm being guided to really come back to the energy of Reiki. And the energy of it is to help people that are like Carrie and all of the 3 of you have said, people are stressed. People are kind of lost, and they're feeling disoriented, stressed out. They have to work very hard, and they're not happy. And so there's something missing in their lives. And so it's just, you know, wondering, you know, what's in it in their lives. So this is what I would like to bring back through these energies. So as I'm being guided to teach this Reiki, it is about unlocking the mysteries of the mind, body, spirit, and connecting them to their inner values of, you know, of the path, and their connection to the left brain and the right brain, so that they can be into balance with source. And for those that don't know what Reiki is universal Reiki energy. You're attuned to it, given these ancient symbols, so that you're able to heal. You're able to pass this on to a family. And hospitals are using Reiki. And it's so wonderful because for cancer, for the elderly, for anything, because it works. It's like a medicine, but it's an alternative medicine. And it's so wonderful to be able to have that ability, whether you just want it for family or whether you just wanted to be of service to others and teach it. You can teach it long distance. You don't have to be there. So it's just a wonderful, the Reiki mastery. And so that we can look at those negative energy, the values that people have, and bringing it into balance and getting their own power back, their own empowerment back through Reiki. And so with Reiki, they're able to live their life with compassion and wisdom and joy and love and laughter, because this is all what it's about. When you're in that connection to source, life flows, you're happy, and you're able to look at things, your behaviors, for example. It's just not about energy and anymore. It's about, what are your behaviors that people have? Are they, they steal energy? Are they victims? Are they all kinds of those negative things? Are they bullies? So when you start to look at your ways of living, then it's a way to correct it. And that's what I'm being guided to do in just learning to live their authentic lives.
Awesome. Very inspiring. Now, what type of people would come to the retreat? And you said that's going to be called Sacred Cedars Retreat, right?
Yes, it's called that. Yes, and it's any the people who want to be in the alternative health, to be personalized, that will have personalized packages for the retreat, to be pampered, rejuvenate, but also to study these ancient teachings that it's so important now for people to learn and to be healed and attuned to these Reiki energies of level 1 and 2. And it's a opportunity for them to move, like I mentioned before, but also it's community, it's coming together, working together, cooking together. And like Catherine said, drumming, singing, dancing, learning about oils, learning about the herbs, learning about the earth. And it's just that community to find joy in our lives. And we want people to express being close to nature, and all those things. We will offer organic cooking, organic food, and especially the levels of Reiki 1 and 2, staying and being attuned to that, and having the ability to move to a higher form of Reiki, which I'm also going to be introducing them in this sacred retreat, the Sacred Cedars retreat, and it's called the MSREM Super Energy Reiki, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Well, actually, I'm not familiar with REM, so could you describe a little bit about what REM is for our viewers?
Okay, well, MSREM is Melchizedek Synthesis Super Reiki Energy, and what it is, it's the best way to describe MSREM is to compare a balloon, there was one of those balloons up in the sky kind of thing. What are they called? Balloon brights.
The big ones in the basket.
The big ones,
yeah, okay.
With a basket.
Right.
So compare that, just see that floating in the air. That's the Sui Reiki. To the MSREM is the rocket ship going up into space. It's a huge, incredible upgrade. And this is an incredible time, because it's it's about ascension. It's about ascension energy mastery that we are studying. As we study this program, it's going to be accelerating your the activation of the left and right hemispheres. It's going to let's see, it's going to produce this perfect balance of the feminine and the masculine energy bodies. And it's also in the Melchizedek initiation process. It's also, which is from ancient Tibetan symbols, and also the Melchizedek new symbols, that's going to activate people into a higher spiritual center of the brain, and like the pineal gland, the pituitary, and the hypothalamus glands, and all of these connect to the brain. And this empowers now the opening of the crown chakra. And that's what we want, because it's about the connection to the heart chakra and to the crown. And that's where it all begins, which accelerates us to a higher connection to spirit. It helps to connect. And I think this is important with all the things that are going on with COVID and stuff. There's been a really a separation of who we are. And most of us might not be aware of it, or we're not awake to it, but there's a separation. And I think a lot of us do feel that connection. So this is what I'm wanting to do. And I have been given permission to teach this program by Dr. Susie Anthony. And she's the only one in the world who is teaching this. She's the creator of this program, and she's doing that now worldwide on Zoom. And I have the honor of being the ambassador to this Renaissance community program, to bring it to the States, but to bring it to the world, because now it can be done worldwide. So she has entrusted me to teach this in the States, and it's very exciting. So but first, the Reiki is the foundation for a higher frequencies of energy, because we can't just go up in the rocket without first doing the groundwork.
Makes sense. And, I know the answer, because, but so just to confirm, though, it can be done virtually.
It is. And right now I'm working on creating a new website from the one I have now, and it's going to be called sacredcedars.com. So it'll have my Reiki and also the hypnotherapy and then some other things in it. But the main thing is that I will be able to reach more people on Zoom to teach these classes. So I'm learning to get on board to teach Reiki, because I've been doing Reiki for 30 years or so. And I always believe that to do the attunements, it's best to be in person, but energy is energy, and you really don't need to be there. So I'm creating a way to do that. And it's in process now. I've been working on it because I want to get this website going. So when it does, it's going to be, I'll be able to sell my videos and my books and things like that. So
Awesome.
It's a new way of doing things, right? Just moving forward, just like the rocket ship, we have to ascend.
I see so many marketing options, not marketing necessarily, but ways to get the word out there for you.
Thank you.
We could talk more about that too, but
yeah,
I think that gives everyone a great, idea, what you're offering, of course, and I'm sure it's going to be a life-changing experience for you to finally, see it come to fruition, right? I look forward to experiencing it as well. I would love to do the cooking and the tinctures and, make that self-healing stuff. I would love to do that stuff. So, and then I'll go play in Catherine's Creativity Center, and
awesome.
And then hopefully if my body participates, I'll go and volunteer for Carrie, and we'll have it on, man, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Catherine. She'll wrap it up. Let me just peek real quick in the chat. I don't think there's any questions that came up. So,
Carrie, are you still there, Carrie? I have a question for Carrie. Real quick.
All right, we'll wait for her, and then you can wrap it up, Catherine.
I'm here.
Okay.
I don't believe I asked you the name of your book. I thought you might want to get that out there.
I've got a couple books, but the one for Kenya is From Lawyer to Missionary, A Journey to Kenya and Back Again.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, and that's on your website.
We'll include those links too with everything.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
Well, thank you both. We're so excited to be with you both, and we just really appreciate you coming and making us this launch, right? Kind of is what we're launching Cause Train. And if there's anybody else who has a cause, a project they're working on that they'd like to share with us, it doesn't have to be, whatever it is, whatever, like Carrie said, whatever makes you feel like you want to cry. Every time I talk about my creativity, it's like it brings tears to my eyes. It's like, and so I know it's going to happen. I just don't know when. Anyway, but we thank you so much for both of you spending your time. We really appreciate you. And I think that's it for us until next week. And so thank you, everybody, for who's here. Thank you.
Virtual applause, virtual applause.
Yes. And we're real excited. And if you know of anybody who'd like to be interviewed, please, pass on the information, because we'd love to meet them. We love hearing everybody's stories. It's really special. So,
and probably tomorrow, if not by Saturday, I'll have the video up on YouTube, our website, the Facebook page, and all the gamut. So you'll be able to find it there.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you all again soon.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.